Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Strictly Healthy Show. And this is the show, of course, that discusses all things to do with your health, holistically, of course, to do with emotional, mental, physical, social, financial, business health. We look at all of it because it all affects us as individuals. So, of course, today I'm super excited. Well, I'm trying on this chat house, or what? Not chat house. What's it called? Clubhouse, trying to do my first room on Clubhouse as well at the same time. So hopefully that works. But of course, today I am super excited to be able to be joined by Madlena Kantscheff. I think I said that right. She's joining me today. She's a former dentist. Hi, Madlena, thank you for joining me today. You're a former dentist. You were brought up in or born in Bulgaria, and now you live in Germany. Yes. So, I mean, I don't want to tell your bio. You can tell your own bio, of course. So perhaps you can share with us today a little bit about your background and, you know, where you've come from, what you've been up to, and how you've got to this point.
So thank you for the invitation. This is an honor to be here because the theme of health and seeing it from a holistic perspective is, in my humble opinion, as a medical professional, the theme number one in the world right now. Because if up to 2019, every company had been a tech company, now every company is a health company because people are the company. And the well-being and the vibrant health of the people individually and together as a team, this is what makes and breaks the company. So health is a theme near and dear to my heart. So very briefly about me, I was born and grew up in a small country in Southeastern Europe called Bulgaria. And my parents had a dream, a desire for me as their daughter to become a dentist. And I followed their desire, their dream, and found myself at the age of 23 obtaining a doctor title. This is how we get it in Bulgaria. And being in a position to support financially my family, which had back then 7 members, which was very satisfying for me, right? At this young age, being able to support the family, and also to serve people at this young age, because aren't we servants deep in our hearts? We all are.
We should be, yes.
And as professionals in the area of medicine, for me, specifically in the area of dentistry, then I feel in my heart that we serve the highest good in this universe, and this is human health and well-being.
Yes, indeed. Yes, so you have quite a background, quite a history, don't you? You started your dentistry, I think it was over 25 years ago. Is that correct?
In 1991, because I had to learn German. I came from Bulgaria. I had to learn the language so that I can establish myself in the foreign country for myself. Then I had to go through recognition exams, which is absolutely perfectly fine. And then
that must have taken a while.
Well, definitely. And then in the meantime, I was blessed to give a birth of my daughter in 1987. So I wanted to have it all, right? Like we all do. Yes. So 1991, I was blessed to open my dental practice in Bavaria, in Germany, worked there for 20 years, just to realize that being a medical professional in the area of dentistry gives me a great opportunity to serve people from my heart. For this 20 years, I've seen, and I'm saying this with gratitude, I've seen 20,000 patients. But just to realize that these people came to me not just to get the holes in their teeth fixed, to get a beautiful smile and a nice bridge and so on, implant. They were coming actually to get the holes in their lives fixed.
Right. So you must have been sharing some pearls of wisdom with them, or at least connecting with them on a very personal level. You must have
That's
been.
exactly right, because many times they will come to me and share from their hearts. And at the end of the working day, we will sit together with my team members, and I will ask the same question. Do you feel in your hearts that what we offered today was a pure dentistry, or was it something more than that?
Mm,
And this brought me to the decision after 20 years of practicing dentistry
mm-hmm,
to start serving people from a more holistic perspective.
mm-hmm. Yes,
Because
yeah.
health and well-being, you said it beautifully at the beginning of this episode, health and well-being, they are how we live our lives, right? There is physical part of our well-being, there is emotional part of our well-being, there is a spiritual, social part of our well-being. How do we interact? How do we connect with ourselves and with others? And
Mm-hmm,
there is a significant part of that, which is the financial well-being. So they all are one unity. And the
mm-hmm,
beauty of that is when you start focusing on improving, let's say, your physical well-being, and you succeed in that because you are doing it consciously, you keep the momentum, then the beauty of that is that this domino effect kicks in, and all of a sudden, your emotional well being gets better, your spiritual well being gets better, your social interaction gets better, the self talk gets different and better.
mm-hmm,
And miraculously, your financial well being gets better as well, because this is all one.
mm-hmm. And I just want to ask, how then did you shift from your dental work and dentistry? I think I heard somewhere or on one of your interviews that you were or you are helping dentists as well with their business. Are you still doing that, or
I'm
you're
not doing it that intense right now because
okay?
my heart, I'm following really my heart, where I desire to continue raising the awareness of the importance of well-being, the importance of health.
Mm-hmm.
Because if health and well-being are not the top priority on your priority list, then your body's going to come and tell you, please take care of me.
Was there a reason why you had this mind shift into well-being and wellness?
Well, it didn't happen overnight,
Mm-hmm.
but as I told you, from many years, if I practice 20 years, then year after year, day after day, let's say every year has 220 in average working days. So you come back home and you ask yourself, again, are you serving as a dentist, or do patients also desire, let's not use the word expect, but do they desire also something more? They will come and share their very intimate desires and pains and what happened to them. So, do you really go to a dentist and sit on a dental chair and tell your
Yes.
dentist how your family is doing today? Not
Yeah.
really. Then you
Yeah.
ask yourself these significant questions, and gradually you move in direction to change the direction, because
Mm-hmm.
you yourself, I'm talking about myself right now, I didn't feel fulfilled. You feel that something is missing, there is something more than what you're doing, there's something much, there is even a better way to serve people than to relieve them from a pain, to help them to have a better smile, to increase their self-esteem and so on. There must be a better way. And for me personally, this
I
better
agree.
way is to come from this holistic perspective and start educating people, because many of them don't know what they don't know, as we all didn't until we learned it.
I think you're absolutely right, and I've come across a few people as well too that are dealing with this sort of thing. Like you'll find a lot of hairdressers as well. The minute somebody sits in their chair, the person, the client, starts releasing all this information that they probably wouldn't have told anybody else. And I recently chatted with a barber who now has transitioned into doing a charity for men who were suicidal because they would sit
Beautiful.
in the chair and release all this information. So I guess it was a little bit like that for you, in that
Yeah.
people would sit in your chair, they would share something personal, you would help them with your soulful words, and
Yes.
and then that sort of helped you as well to transition into what you're doing right now, which is helping people just feel a little bit more fulfilled, and as you say, get rid of those blockages that are causing them a lot of problems.
And all this guides you ultimately at the end of the day to connecting with your soul, with who you truly are.
Hmm. Yes,
So
yeah.
this is what this is about.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you something a little personal though, because I
Go
understand
ahead.
if you don't mind. In one of your videos, I saw that you talked about the fact that you had cancer or had a cancer scare. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Of course, I want to talk about that because this is also a health challenge, right?
Yeah.
So,
Do you,
1998, I was diagnosed with a uterine cancer. And I was back then, I can tell you, only 37 years young with two small children at the age of 4 and 11, in the middle of my life, in the middle of my dental career and so on. So all of a sudden, I was faced with this challenge and had to deal with that. But even then, I can tell you that for me personally, I'm very grateful to be able to say that. For me, there was no option. The only option I had is to get healed. And
mm,
because I focused my energy on this getting healed, and I had this big why, I wanted to be around when my children grow up. I wanted to dance at their wedding and so on. And this is a
yes.
why for a mother, which makes you move the mountains, right?
Mm, indeed, yes.
And so cancer became for me my best teacher because a life threatening disease, for me personally, was a lesson to learn that I have disconnected myself from the voice of my soul. And we have a saying here in Germany, if you don't want to listen, you have to hear and to feel the pain.
Yes, and we have a similar expression in the Caribbean, which is my origins. And we say if you don't hear, you will feel.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
expression
and
that
and
we
and
use.
the feeling is, unfortunately, the pain on a physical, on emotional level of a body which is telling you you have disconnected yourself from your soul, from your core.
Hmm. Yes, yes. But you somehow were able to get past this horrible disease, and
Yes, and this is, as I said, you can make the math back in 1998. However, I learned my lessons. And when I catch myself, hmm, I'm deviating from the path of connecting with my soul, being connected with my soul. Go back, go back. So I remind myself, and life reminds me also. So your body is a very good indicator. When you wake up in the morning and you're pain free, you're ready to jump out of bed, you're happy for no reason, just because the sun is shining today, or because it's raining, because the nature needs the rain. Of course, not in a form of a flood, but a beautiful, quiet rain is what nature loves, and so on. So when you wake up in this state of mind, of heart, of soul, then you know for the most of the time, for the most of the part, I'm connected with my soul. But
hmm.
if I wake up in the morning and I feel constriction here, and discomfort here and so on. Well, my body is telling me something is off. Pay attention to that. And if you need guidance, then look for the guidance of an expert who is looking at your body from this holistic perspective. For example, I'm just going to give you an example.
Yeah,
There
sure.
is a certain tooth, the tooth number 3, which has the longest. When you start counting from here in the middle, 1, 2, 3, this
Right.
is the tooth with the longest root. This tooth has a direct connection with your knees.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
And do you know how many times I will treat patients as a dentist with a mouth acupuncture? And they will tell me that during the treatment, the knee pain lessened and disappeared.
Wow.
This is
Interesting.
something I have practiced, and not only I'm not saying I'm the only one, don't get me wrong. So there is a correlation between every tooth or group of teeth to the overall well-being of the whole body. And if you know that, this connection, then you have a powerful tool in your hands to have a positive impact on the whole body.
Well, it's very true that, we can't just, this is what I'm not so crazy or like about, sort of going to a doctor, they'll just treat that one thing. But we are people that are a whole, aren't we? And everything that goes wrong affects all of us, doesn't it?
And let me just state that because I'm a big believer of this statement. Our bodies were created to be self-regulating, self-rejuvenating, and self-healing system.
Mm.
So, and this is what I firmly believe. I was educated in the area of absolutely traditional medicine, and I'm very grateful for that. But right now, 40 years after that, I have obtained my doctor title as a dentist. I can tell you, and this is my personal humble opinion based on my experience as a medical professional. The key to true healing is to combine the power of traditional, non-traditional medicine and the power of human spirit.
Yes.
If
Okay.
I'm a
I
if I'm a doctor and a patient doesn't want to get well, I'm helpless.
Indeed, people, like you say, they have to want to get well and want to feel better and then take action to do that as well,
Yeah.
don't they?
And of course accept the guidance and the help of a medical professional, of a person they trust and so on, naturopath practitioner, whoever is the person they feel drawn to, attracted to is the word probably.
Okay, good. Now, I know you're going to share a few specific tips with us, but before that, I understand you have a book coming out, or is it out already? And can you
No,
tell
it
us?
is not out because
Okay.
writing a book is a process of, when as I started writing the book, I asked myself 3 questions. What is the transformation I desire for the readers to experience by reading the book? What is the transformation I desire this book to initiate for the world through spreading the message? But the most significant question was, what is the transformation I desire for myself to experience? And
Ah,
so when this transformation hasn't reached a point where with all your being, this is the time to release the message. You're still improving, you're still doing something, if not better, but different, because it is a process of transformation for oneself. So writing a book is not just writing a book. This is healing, going through all this, because the name of the book officially and at the very beginning was Cancer is My Best Teacher. And I'm still not sure that this is the messages I want to share with the world. But when the time is right, then the book's going to come out.
yes. Okay. All right. Well, keep me abreast of that, and I can share that out to people. That would be fantastic. Okay. But I just wanted to touch a little bit on your past history as well too. I understood that you had to sort of help seven members of your family, not help, but you were sort of the breadwinner for seven members of
Yeah.
your family, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that fit in with your life history, really?
Well, I'm going to take 1 minute to let you know how that started. My
Yes.
father spent the best years of his life from age of 20 to 32 at the severest prison in Bulgaria as a political prisoner because he was fighting against the existing government. This was his idea of serving his people, right? So as he came out at the age of 32 out of the prison, thank God alive, he married my mom, then I was born, then my brother was born. But his past had always an impact on his ability and chance to get a job, to establish himself in the society. He was always the black sheep in the society. And I remember as a very young child, maybe 5 or 6, I had this insight. This man is so restricted, my father, that he won't be in a position to provide for the family, and this is not his fault. Someone has to fill the gap. And I remember distinctly making a vow that this is me who is going to fill this gap. So, and I understood, guided by my intuition, certainly, that the best way to do it is to educate myself. So I ran for the education, college, then university, driven by this desire to be the breadwinner for the family. And as I said at the beginning of our conversation, at the age of 23, I found myself as a dentist and being able and blessed to provide for the 7 people, including me. I was the seventh one.
Well done, well done. I'm sure it wasn't
Thank you.
easy in a culture sometimes where they said tend to venerate men more so than women, but you were able to.
Well, definitely, but whatever my life purpose was back then, and it's certainly now, it's a huge part of it is to be inspiration, but not only for women, but also for men, so that they change their world view and see women not just as equal, but as their partners in life and in business, where we complement each other's strengths and weaknesses, right? This is what the world is about right now.
Indeed, yeah, yeah. We can see that people are just looking forward to feeling better and doing better and coming together as a whole, aren't they? Yes.
Exactly.
Good.
Exactly.
So, you're going to share some specific tips with us on how we can better move forward with our health, etc. Can you share
Yes.
what thoughts you were going to share with us?
Yes, gladly. The tip number one is implementing the power of human mind and spirit. So everything starts with a conscious decision. And here's my tip for you. If you haven't done it, please take your time to make the conscious decision with all your heart and all your soul that your health and your well-being are priority number one for you. This is the top priority on your list. And in the same decision-making process, you take and carry the full responsibility for your health and well-being. You listen to all these recommendations of politics, of healthcare professionals, of health institutions and agencies. You don't ignore them, but the full responsibility for your health, for your well-being is in your hands. I give
Yes.
I give people this picture of, imagine you're in a room and you're waiting for someone to come from the outside to unlock the door so that you can go out and enjoy your freedom. No, the key is from the inside. You have just to make the decision, stretch out your hand, turn the key, unlock the door, and get out and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy your freedom, whatever your freedom is. So
So,
everything starts with that, because when you focus your energy exclusively in a certain direction, that makes you extremely powerful, very determined.
mhm.
So start with this, especially now in hopefully post-corona times.
Yes,
Your
yeah.
health, it's if you haven't gotten it until now it's time to get it. Your health is your true wealth, and this is
It,
your responsibility. The key is in your hands.
I agree with that because I think too many are waiting to be rescued and waiting for somebody else to do something. But, you're saying take proactive action.
Yes.
Do
So don't
something to
don't
help
wait
yourself.
for the magic pill to free you from pain, to free you from suffering, to heal your whatever. This magic pill may come, but create the environment for this by focusing on yourself in a sense of practicing passionate self-love and self-care by making your health and your well-being priority number one and taking the full responsibility 100%.
Absolutely. I hear you on that one. Definitely. I made a note of that. All right. What else can you share with us there?
The second one is to take me times every single day. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing which I feel in my heart is how I'm going to reward myself at the end of the day. How I'm going to reward my inner child for everything what I have accomplished today, or even for what I haven't accomplished today. So I'm looking forward to going in the evening out for a walk, to having a nice dinner with person I love, reading my book or watching my favorite movie or just taking a bath or maybe taking a massage, whatever your heart desire is, start the
Mm,
day with that. How I'm going to reward myself tonight, and even don't wait until tonight. It could be a lunch break. What is
mm,
going to be the reward today? Because this is a high vibrational energy of gratitude and practicing self-love.
hmm. Definitely a very good tip. I find just doing that just calms you down a little bit as well. Just taking breaks, going out, doing something positive for yourself, and replenishing, I guess.
Especially during these times as we were restricted worldwide, we spend a lot of time, and thank God we have this beautiful technology at our disposal. But sitting in front of Zoom for a long period of time, we were not used to that, right?
No,
But right now, I am in connection with many people. They don't want to go away from the home office because it
we're
saves
used
them
to it now.
from yeah, and we don't have to commute. We are not outside. We're not in the rain. We're not in the strong sun and so on. So somehow home office has become magical for some of us. So
Indeed.
you see how adaptable we human
Yeah.
beings are. It's and that leads me to the third tip. Please see yourself as a human being, not as a human doing.
Yes, I've come across that expression before.
So
Yes.
I'm not saying anything new to you because I don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you're a human being at the end of the day. So give yourself the permission to be. So don't just run. You have a long to do list today. Well, do it. But with this attitude that you are actually here to be and you're happily busy. When someone calls me and says, how are you today? And I say, I'm busy, but I'm happily busy.
Yeah.
I'm not running after this. Oh, did I accomplish this to-do list and so on?
Hmm.
I make it with this attitude of enjoying it. I feel in my heart that the joy has somehow gotten lost in our society. There is no space for joy. You ask people how they are doing. How often do you hear this? I'm so joyful today. I'm so playful today. I'm so adventurous today. How often do you hear that?
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
Almost never, because we are adults, we are business people, we have to be serious and so on. Who says that?
Yeah. Too many people are negative, as you say. They say a lot of
They don't have to be
their
negative. It's
comments and
enough.
their
It's enough to be serious. Do you have to be serious all the time? you can be a very successful and attractive businesswoman and a man, and being joyful, playful, adventurous. I don't see any contradiction between that.
Yes, I'm just checking for questions to see if anyone has a question. But no,
Well,
I hear you on those 3 points. One is implementing the power of the mind and spirit. The other one is rewarding yourself at the end of the day.
yeah,
And allow yourself to be a human being, not a human doing, so to speak. Or did I get that
exactly.
right? Be a human
Yes,
being.
excellent. Very well learned, the lesson.
I'm a good student.
You just have to implement that. And in addition to this free tips, keep the momentum, please.
Yeah.
There will be days when this is going to happen very easily and come easily to you. And there will be days when it's going to, you have to overcome certain blocks to get there. But keep the momentum, because the momentum is important. After 21 days, usually it becomes a habit.
Habit.
And then
Yes. That's
it
why they can't
becomes
get
your
us from Zoom
second
now.
nature. Yeah.
Yes.
It becomes your
Yes.
second nature. So continue doing that, just like with brushing your teeth. Once you have gotten into this habit, do you think about, I have to brush my teeth today? No, you're doing it because it
Mm,
has become your second nature. Why not becoming a second nature, these habits which are so, and not only this free, there are others as well. And this is also, feel how that resonates with you and how you can implement that in your life. But we're at least reminding people that this is one of the keys for vibrant health and well-being at any age. It's not a
yes.
matter of age. I don't agree with people when they come and tell me, oh, I'm now 70, it's too late for me. That's not true. I know a lot of people at the age of 90 and plus who enjoy vibrant health and well-being, who are inspiration for the whole world.
Well, a lot of it, as you say, starts with your attitude towards things, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah,
and so if you feel, oh, I'm old and I'm dying and I can't do anything, then that's what's going to happen. You know,
exactly. This
having a
is a
positive
self
attitude.
prophecy. Just like I told you, for me, there was no two options as I was dealing with cancer. There was only one, to get healed, to get out of that, but also to learn my lessons, because every challenge in our lives, when allow it to teach us lessons, it's not going to come back. For example, in a history of cancer, the biggest challenge is the fear of reoccurrence. Well, now I'm healed.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
doctor's team is happy, celebrating with me. Now I'm healed from cancer. Beautiful.
Good.
Then they
Excellent.
get back
That's
home
lovely.
and they start fearing, having the fear, is cancer
That.
is going to come back? Let me tell you,
Yeah.
cancer is not coming back
Good.
after you,
You
you
know.
have learned the lessons.
Now I have a question here, if I may.
Of
Um,
course.
Patricia's asking, I've been reading breath, which draws a correlation between our breathing, our teeth, and our overall health. Have you come across the health benefits of nasal breathing and its effects on our teeth and palate formation? That's
Yeah,
a bit of
yeah,
a big
yeah,
question, but I'm sure you
yeah,
understand it being a
yeah,
dentist.
yeah. I understand very well. Well, let me give you an example. When many people, when they breathe, not only during the day, but during the night when they sleep with the mouth open. And
Mm-hmm,
this is the opposite of a nasal breathing, right?
mm-hmm.
So, as a practical example, because I can very well answer questions and think in pictures. So I imagine a person sleeping with a mouth open, and it could be a child, it could be an adult. So when the mouth is open, when the breathing is a mouth breathing, not a nasal breathing, then the mouth dries, and it can have an impact on the well-being of the teeth,
Mm,
and also the gingiva for the
mm-hmm.
teeth. When they are dry during the night, then the danger, so to say, to get cavities increases by that. When it
Okay.
comes to the overall well-being, the nasal breathing, it's more beneficial because it is filtered through for the nose,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more beneficial for the lungs.
I think
So this
we're
is a
meant to breathe
beautiful,
through our nose anyway, aren't we?
yes, this is a beautiful reminder. When you're consciously observing your breathing, then invite yourself to breathe through your nose for the most of the time.
And deep
And there
breathing.
are also certain features which will keep your lower jaw, so that if it's an extreme case where you are breathing through the mouth the whole night, then there is a way. Talk to your dentist, talk to your medical practitioner. Most of them know about that.
Okay, we'll do that
Also,
then.
how to deal that. But the question is very appropriate, and thank you for asking it. It shows that people see the body, the spirit, the soul as one unity. Beautiful.
Mm, very good. Well, I want to thank you for your time very much today. I'm very honored, to have you join me today and to
My
share
pleasure.
your thoughts with us. So, thank you ever so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're
It's my
welcome. Don't
pleasure.
go too far. Stay there. I'll be right back with you. Okay. So that was Dr. Madlena Kantscheff. I believe I've said that right. So she has been very kind to share her thoughts with us regarding holistic health and how we can benefit from that. Now, please join us next week because we again have a very interesting and amazing guest as we always do. And she is Joe Howarth, and Rachel Howarth, and she is going to be sharing some fabulous tips about some business health and sales strategy with us. So please join us, same time, same space, Strictly Healthy Show, 4 p.m. GMT. Bye for now.